Okay, work together 1-3. So it might be beneficial for you to have your book open to the directions. If you cut that in one of the last videos, um, instead of having to click out open the directions in a separate video or in a separate window, you can have your directions open in your book. Okay. If not, you can definitely click here to open up your directions. It says that Bass Craft Center has two departments, crafts and frames. We're going to post the following transactions when journalized. 1, transactions impacting the accounts payable subsidiary ledger, and 2, cash payments entered in a general amount column of the cash payments journal. They give us our source document abbreviations. Number 1, it says we're going to journalize the transactions completed during June of the current year. Use page 6 of a cash payments journal. Post the items that are to be posted individually. So here they give us 6 transactions. Step 2 then is to prove and rule the cash payments journal and then post those totals. So I'm just going to go ahead and close those. I have my book open to my transactions so I can see them in my book. So our first transaction, it says is June 3rd. So June 3rd is my date. It says that I paid cash to Peterson Supply for a miscellaneous expense, 164.34, check number 345. So I'm writing a check. We know that we're going to go into our cash payments journal. I'm writing that check to Peterson Supplies. But in this case, it doesn't really matter who we're writing that check to because it says that we're paying for a miscellaneous expense. So we're simply going to do our miscellaneous expense. We have check 345, and we're going to debit miscellaneous expense for 164. Oops. 164.34, and we're going to credit cash for 164.34. Okay, moving on to the next one, June 5th. We paid cash on account to Harris Industries for crafts purchased on purchase invoice 342, $2,141, less debit memorandum 23 for $245, less a 2% discount, check number 346. Okay, so first of all, we are writing a check to Harris Industries, so we're going to put that in. We're going to put in our check of 346, and then we're going to figure out, let's see here, accounts payable debit. Now, it says that we owed them $2,141. That was the purchase invoice. But it's saying that we have a debit memorandum of 245. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that 2,141 minus $245, and that gives us 1896. So that's how much we owe them, 1896. That's going to be our accounts payable debit. Let's see here. Then we need to figure out what that discount is. So we're going to take 1896 times 2%, and that gives us a discount of 37.92. Now this was for crafts, so we're going to put our purchase discount under our crafts. And then we have a cash credit. We need to figure out what the difference is to figure out our cash credit. So 1896 minus this 37.92. That we actually paid them $1,858.08. On the 12th, we paid cash to Mason Office Source for supplies, $86.35. Check number 347. So the 12th, this one's pretty easy. It doesn't matter who we bought from. We just bought supplies, so we're going to debit our supplies account. That was check 347. We're going to debit supplies for $86.35, and we're going to credit cash for $86.35. June 18th. It says that we paid cash on account to Fulton Corporation covering purchase invoice 343 for frames, $2,840, less a 2% discount, check number 348. So first I'm going to put in my vendor. We wrote the check to Fulton Corporation. And let's see here, check 348. Okay, next we're going to put in how much we actually owed them. So we owed them $2,840. That's going to be our accounts payable debit. We're going to figure out what our discount was. We had a 2% discount, so 2,840 times 2%. That gives us a discount of $56.80. Okay, we're going to subtract those two numbers to figure out how much we actually wrote a check for. Okay, and our check was written for $2,783.20. June 22nd, we paid cash to Daniel Woodworks for frames, $580, check number 349. And I forgot to say too, make sure that you put the purchases discount in the frames for this one because it was for frames, not crafts. So just be aware of the two different discounts there. I just kind of skipped over that there. All right, so we're buying frames. That is actually going to be a purchases because we're buying merchandise. Okay, so there's a lot of purchases here. We need purchases. Well, they're not going to let me put that in, are they? There it is. Okay, so just if you were having problems like that, so when I was typing it, it wasn't allowing me to put that in. So here's the more button. Here's what I'm looking for is purchases frames. Okay. Another new thing. All right, so that was check number 349. Okay, and it looks like we bought $580 worth, so that's going to be our debit to purchases, and then we're going to credit cash for $580. Okay, last transaction then is on the 30th. It says that we paid cash to replenish the petty cash fund, $102.10. Advertising for crafts was $50. Miscellaneous expense was $32.60, and then supplies was $19.50. Check number 350. Okay, so I'm going to do this a little bit backwards because this always seems to help me. I'm going to put my check in first, and then I'm going to put in how much cash I actually, or what my check was written for. So the check was written for $102.10. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to debit the accounts that I spent money on. So the first one was for advertising. So that's going to be advertising expense. And that was for crafts. Make sure that we select the correct one. And we spent $50 on that. So we're going to debit that account for 50. Next, we spent money on a miscellaneous expense. So I'm going to put in miscellaneous expense, and we're going to debit that account for $32.60. And the last one was for supplies. So we bought supplies, and we're going to debit that account for $19.50. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to see if my debits equal credit. So I have 50 plus 32.6 plus 19.5, and that equals 102.10. So when I look at that, I do not have cash short or over, so I'm good. Okay, so the next thing in that it says to do in step one is to post individually. So we're not going to do our totals yet. We're going to just go ahead and start posting individually. So our first one, we are posting to miscellaneous expense. So we're going to go to our general ledger. We're going to find our miscellaneous expense account. The date is the 3rd. Post reference is CP, cash payments, journal page 6. We have a debit of $164.34. And then we need to find our new balance. So our new balance should be $3,000. $930.20. Account number 7125 goes back up to our post reference. Okay, next one we're going to post to Harris Industries. Now Harris Industries is going to be in accounts payable. So that's going to be in our accounts payable ledger, Harris Industries. That is the 5th. Post reference is CP6. And when we look, remember our vendor always goes with our accounts payable column here. So it's going to be a debit of $18.96. And we're going to find our new balance. So our new balance is $1,057.30. And account number 245 goes back up. Okay, next we are going to go to supplies. So that's in our general ledger. June 12th is the date. CP6 for post reference. And here we have a debit of $86.35. Find our new balance. Our new balance is $6,518.89. Account number 1405 up at the top. Fulton Corporation is going to be in accounts payable. So I'm going to go down to my accounts payable ledger. The date is the 18th, CP6. And I have a debit of $28.40. Remember, this column here is accounts payable debit. I'm going to find my due balance then for Fulton Corporation. That's going to be $834.22. And $235 goes back up. Okay, purchases frames. The date is the 22nd. CP6. We have a debit of $580. We need to find our new balance. Our new balance is $94,945.33. Account number 5205 goes back up. Advertising expenses, crafts. The date is the 30th. CP6. We have a debit of $50. The new balance then is $7,640, and account number 6105 goes back up. Miscellaneous expense. The date is the 30th. CP6. 3260 debit. And our new balance is $3,962.80. And account number 7125 goes back up. And the last one individually is going to be to our supplies. The date is the 30th. CP6. Debit of $19.50. And our new supplies balance then is going to be $6,538.39. And account number 1405 goes back up. Okay, so next we will figure out our totals, and then we will post our totals. That will be on the part 2 video.